So today we are going to discuss the different abnormalities in the plaques view. As discussed in the previous lecture, we already discussed the normal structures which is visualized and its importance in the plaques view. So to begin the talk, the first view, the first abnormality here is we see is some kind of abnormal echogenicity below the mitral valve or behind the mitral valve. As you know, this is a rounded structure in the left atrium, and here are the two mitral valve leaflet. Here is the left ventricle, and we know, as we see this, there is a homogeneous rounded structure which is almost filling the left atrium. So this is something called as left atrial myxoma. This is same in the AM mode. We can see during the closure of the mitral valve, this is so well visualized, occupying almost the whole portion of the left atrium. So this is one important finding in sometimes in the plaques view, which is can easily be delineated compared to the 4-chamber view, and we can easily see if this is something growth similarly in the right atrium in the plaques RV view also below the tricuspid valve. And here this is another echo view which shows on the color flow mode. We can see the mosaic pattern here through the aortic valve, which indicates the turbulence of the flow in the aortic valve, and this is something called as aortic regurgitations, because when there is a turbulence flow, usually the regurgitation is present in compared to the streamlined flow, because if the flow is streamlined through the aortic valve, we can easily see a typical bluish pattern of flow through the across the aortic valve. Similarly, if we put the Doppler mode in the pulse wave and the continuous wave, we can easily see these are the aortic VTI, and we can measure the jet or the velocities of the aortic VTI, and we can easily assess the aortic severity of the aortic regurgitations. So this is another abnormality where we can see instead of the right ventricular muscles which is thick and in a straight line, we can see the RV is slightly collapsed on the M mode, and in the posterior to the left ventricle we can find some collections which is called the pericardial effusion. If it is rapidly accumulating, it is sometimes called as pericardial tamponade, and usually this RV collapse is a sign of the pericardial tamponade. So when it compresses the RV is the musculature or the free wall of the RV is usually collapsed in diastole. So diastolic collapse of the right ventricle is an important signs of early pericardial effusion or the pericardial tamponade, because we know this is the systole and this is the diastole and this is the systole. So during the systole, we know the mitral valve, it touches the tip of the musculature of the left ventricle, and there is absolutely no distance between the left ventricular musculature and the tip of the mitral valve, which is called the EPSS, the E-point septal separation. And from there the diastole begins and we get a typical A wave. So the difference, the tip of the E wave to the bottom of the A wave is called the diastole. So there is a RV collapse, which is a sign of the right ventricular dysfunctions in case of the pericardial tamponade. Here we can see this is a plaques view. The M mode is crossing through the aortic valve. We can beautifully see the aortic valve is severely thickened. The echogenicity is more, and this is a sign of the severe calcific aortic valve. The same thing we can see from the M mode. We can see the soft glistening and whitish brilliant structure across the aortic valve. It is nothing but the aortic valve calcification, so it is very important, which can be easily visualized on the plaques view. And this is we already discussed. There is some collection anterior to the right ventricle and also some collection posterior to the left ventricle. So this is nothing but the pericardial effusion, or sometimes if there is hemodynamic compromise and if it is rapidly accumulating, it is called the pericardial tamponade. The most important sign of pericardial tamponade is the RV collapse in the diastole. So here also this is a plaques view. We can see this is the right ventricle, this is the left ventricle, this is the left atrium, this is the beautifully two cusp of the aortic valve, and sometimes we can see some extra structures in the aortic root. this is called nothing but the dissection flap. So this is a case of dissection of the aorta, which is more easily visualized in the suprasternal view. When you go to the suprasternal view, you can easily see how the aortic dissection looks like. And this is another echo view. We can see the movements of the mitral valve. The mitral valve, the leaflets are not at all touching the left ventricular intraventricular septum. So we can easily see the what is called as the ventricular function is depressed, and it is a mildly depressed left ventricle. Okay, and sometimes you can see the pericardial calcification also, and we can see that this is a gap. This is called the E point septal separations, which you can easily assess from the mitral window in the plaques view. Okay, and here also we can see how when there is a jerking movement of the ventricle inside a cavity. So this is the cavity, and this is a fluid cavity. This is the left ventricle, and outside the left ventricle this is there, and there is a jerky movement as if the heart is churning in a cavity filled of the fluid. So this is a sign of the pericardial effusion. Sometimes we can see here below the pericardial effusion there is another same echogenic area, or you can say is a hypoechoic area, which is called the pleural effusion also. So usually the fluids looks like dark or black, okay, and the echo, and this is the descending thoracic aorta. So these are the different views or abnormalities usually you can encounter in the plaques view, and in some subsequent lecture we will going to discuss the parasternal short axis view. Thank you.